Well, the Globe is in England, it's in the U.S., it's in Canada. It is one of the biggest periodicals, and it's one of the more serious ones. It doesn't do a lot of the space alien stuff. It's got Burt Reynolds dying, Swayze widows, agony, rigged. It's got, but the big cover story, this is the cover story right now, is 25 enemies Obama wants to silence. And this is, you know, it came out about John Edwards in this publication and the Inquirer about his love child and all his lies there. I have no doubt that this is an accurate report. Obama's secret enemies list revealed 25 names that the president wants to silence and why. And again, I don't use drugs. I hardly ever drink. I kind of, you know, go 6 months without drinking and then spend a month drinking, and not even that heavily. I go off and on cigars. It's pretty gross, but chewing tobacco and cigarettes. I like anything tobacco. I speed. I race around in my car sometimes. I'm faithful to my wife. I don't do anything criminal. We overpay the phony taxes of the Federal Reserve. I have outside accounting firms in here. We try to keep our nose completely clean, Paul, and I don't want to give our enemies any attention. But they're clearly pulling out all the stops against us with foundation money, attacking us from the grassroots and the top. And I just want listeners to know that's being done because we're effective. Paul Watson.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been attacked from the left most recently. I mean, their attention span and their memory is about as short as it's so finite, because we get attacked by people like Think Progress for being right-wing extremists, when on their own website, because they're owned by a different organization, a larger organization, it says that their mission is to push the political agenda of the Obama White House, and then they accuse us of being partisan. So it's attacks like that that are so easily ridiculed, but they come in from both sides. So, I mean, this just goes to show that, you know, for 8 years you railed against Bush, and now we're called right-wing extremists.
Well, it's incredible to be a cover story in one of the biggest on-the-stand, newsstand publications, Obama's secret enemies list, and we're on it. Very, very creepy, Watson. I want to go back to calls, but I wanted to make sure you were on the same page, and you are. Show all the admissions of his enemies list. Show how they wanted to get people tattling on their neighbors, the kids serving him, how they're putting people on watch list, how they want to put conservatives on no gun buy list with no judge or jury. There's a lot of other points I meant to make when I got you on the line, but I've misplaced them mentally there. But it'll come out of the file cabinet here in a second. It's just that we are the subject of intimidation. We are the subject of attacks. We know this stuff is going on, and it is very, very creepy to have this going on. Anything else?
Well, yeah, again, for people who will attack the credibility, I mean, these tabloid periodicals sometimes break big stories. There's a reason why the National Enquirer got sent anthrax after 9/11. It didn't happen by accident, and we know where the anthrax led back.
They published the Bush daughters falling down drunk on 6th Street in Austin.
Yeah, and then you've got all the other admissions from CBS, Politico, U.S. News and World Report that these enemies lists are kept. So that's documented.
Well, I hope I don't get anthrax in the mail.
Well, I won't put anything past them, but hopefully not, no.
It really, I mean, these are people that kill millions of third world innocents. Murder means nothing to them. But the good news is this is out. So if anything happens to us, everybody knows who to look at first. The Clintons, who were openly running the Obama White House with the same crooked group of bankers that engineered the banking changes that brought us to this point in the 1990s. And Fall the Republic covers this. If the White House didn't like the Obama deception, they are sure not going to like Fall the Republic, Watson.
Well, certainly not, because, I mean, I'm getting a lot of emails from black people who voted for Obama and are now, because of the Obama deception and what we've done since, completely awoken to the true paradigm. So we're reaching the target audience that we need to reach. We're not preaching to the choir anymore. We're going out and finding those people that need to be brought out of their sleep.
Well, let's be clear. We were never preaching to the choir. That's another false attack. Oh, you're not effective. Oh, you're not reaching anybody. We've always, through our listeners, been reaching more and more people, but now we are growing exponentially, and with great power, as Spider-Man says, comes great responsibility, and it is a very daunting task, Watson. I just want to point out, I have my First Amendment, I have my rights, and coming after us is the type of thing that'll bring these criminals down, and I'm kind of proud to be on the list, but I also don't like it. Would have been just as glad not to be on the list. I would just, I would tie it into the no-fly list and the watch list and what they told our crew and how this is the total secret police system here in the United States, and there needs to be a congressional investigation of these criminal activities, because it's admitted Pelosi has an enemies list. She's admitted to that, and these people are just outrageous. And Clinton, the Bushes would kind of ignore you. They were so arrogant, they would just kill third world populations, stage terror attacks to get their operation going, and are so arrogant, they would, I mean, the head of the Bush family, George Herbert Walker Bush's wife, Barbara Bush, said on Larry King Live, she said, if you talk about my family or mess with my grandchildren, I will kill you. And King said, what do you mean? She said, what I just said, we'll kill you. And the Bushes are like mafia. They have mafia rules. They say, you mess with our family. That's why one time Kevin Booth, at his wife's 40th birthday, we're at a steakhouse, and there are the Bush daughters drunk with these heavy meddlers. He goes, let me go get the camera out of my car. And I said, dude, don't sign your death warrant. Leave them alone. Let's mess with George W. Bush. It was right at 9/11. They had federal marshals guarding them. Federal marshals came over, so they were fans. You know, we're not messing with their families. Don't mess with our families. The problem is the Clintons, they don't have any rules. They go after families, kids. They're just absolute scum. Hard to believe they're even worse than Bush, but at least he has some mafia morals here. We'll be right back. Thank you, Watson. Get us a good report. I have another report I got to call you about.
Before you throw